I read a lot of stories on the site when I faced betrayal and infidelity. I was able to forgive, but trust and feelings were gone. Trust was gone immediately, and feelings were dying slowly and inevitably. In the end, we separated. He tried to keep me and bring me back, but I did not care. There was no pain, no feelings, nothing. I looked at him with pity and sympathy as they look at a misguided minor relative, and he said something and tried to keep me and stop. I never blamed him for cheating and lying, nor did I blame him or hate him. The reason was simple. It was my payment, my boomerang for doing the same thing to another person once. I was 19 years old. I was dating someone else. He loved me madly, and I let myself be loved and didn't appreciate him for the love and care he gave me. I promised to wait for him when he left for the army, but I ended up meeting someone else. I fell in love like a cat, lost my head and did the cruelest thing, went headlong into a new relationship. After lying and cheating for a long time, I wrote a letter to my soldier where I told the whole truth and asked him to forgive me and let me go with understanding. I guess our parents were right in saying that you can't build happiness on someone else's misfortune. My new love ended the same way as it began, with infidelity. I married my lover and went with him to his small motherland. After 10 years of a hard and painful marriage, there was a finale that made me remember my own betrayal. We divorced after 2 years of trying to save the relationship and get our feelings back. We divorced and I went home and like in beautiful but sad love movies, I met him. This is the same guy, my first relationship, the soldier I never waited for. Yes, it was a happy ending, but not for me. This guy has long been a man. Handsome, statuesque, manly. He has been happily married for a long time. His wife is beautiful and smart, and together they are raising 3 children. He's a wonderful father and husband, and it couldn't have been any other way. And I am 35 years old. I am alone. I have no family, no children, no beloved man, only experience, the bitter experience of his life. I do not know whether it is fate, karma, a boomerang, or it was written in the book of life. But one thing I know for sure, you must always remain human and not to fall in the dirt, neither face nor soul. You cannot build something bright and good out of mud and betrayal. As our grandparents said, you reap what you sow. I got exactly what I deserved, and I realized it too late. The next story you will hear will be about a woman's emotional journey through her husband's infidelity. How did the pain of betrayal affect her and their marriage? How did she find the strength to move on? Read this story to find out. I have been married for 18 years. I have 2 children. In all the time I have never looked at or thought about cheating on my husband, although he was always going out. But 7 years ago everything changed. My husband left for work, and I happened to see the tickets. He did not fly alone, but with a woman who I suspected a relationship with him. Those men who write that a husband suffers when he learns of his wife's infidelity will never understand what it means to betray a husband. I howled for 3 days. Such pain. Only wives who really love their husbands know that. When my husband came back, I told him to go away. No, he didn't leave. He said there was nothing between them. In short, he convinced me as best he could. I pretended to believe him and didn't want to break up the family. Especially my youngest son was only 3 years old. But everything in my heart was beginning to die. I knew that my husband hadn't broken up with his mistress, and things were still going on between them. For 7 years he had been living a double life, and over the years everything had cooled off, and I was left with indifference and emptiness. I won't tell you now how he treated me for all 18 years. Standard, he said. I make the money, you have the house and the kids, so don't ask where I am or who I'm with. In the end, I decided to leave my husband. I was already mentally living with someone else. But it happened that I met a man from my youth, whom I used to date. He was with his wife, and I was sitting in the car. He helped her open the car door, shook off her jacket. I couldn't take my eyes off of them. That's caring. That's something I had never seen in a relationship with my husband. We started dating this man. I didn't need intimacy. I needed emotions, words that I was needed, that I was loved, that I was cared for. All the things my husband gives to another woman. The affair with this man lasted 3 months. Then my husband found out about her. There was a lot going on, including long late-night conversations and saying he was leaving for that woman and would live with her. I don't know what will happen next between us. But the most important thing in all of this is that when I went into the hospital on a nervous breakdown, my husband was screaming, "Don't die, I love you!" It was the second time in 18 years that he had uttered those words. He stayed with me, sleeps next to me, and there is that woman waiting for him, I am not making excuses for myself by any means. I am to blame. But there are different situations, and you shouldn't judge everyone in the same way. I will answer to God for my sin, which I am very sorry for. But you men often hurt us and break our bones without even thinking about the suffering we live with. I don't know what will happen next, but I believe my husband and try to move on with my life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it. Also put a bell so you don't miss new videos. See you soon.